Well, welcome back. I'm out here at the shop. I got a list of things that I need to get done on that truck, and so today I'm just gonna pick something and get started on it. So I'm thinking today I'm gonna try to wrap up the fuel. So I got the filler neck I need to cut down, and then I got all these fuel lines hanging up here that I need to get cut down or however I'm gonna do it, and then get stuck in the truck. The reason that I would need to cut them down is the tank originally in the car was mounted back in the back behind the axle, and in this truck I got it behind the cab, so they need to be shorter. So anyway, I'm gonna get that pulled down and kind of investigate what I gotta do to get those shortened up. So, and mount that fuel filter somewhere. So that's what I got going. So that's what I'm gonna get started on. Alright, all I'm trying to do right now is just get these two apart. That worked. Some of these use this, and some of them you just push this thing in, and then. So if you don't know this, this piece, it looks like you have to pry it out or something, but you push it in, and you can see it when I push it in, it releases in there, and then you can pull it off that. This one right here, I'm not sure. Maybe that does take one of these. Yep. Okay, so that took that one. I don't know, just keep you guessing, you know. That worked. There we go. Just get those off, because I want to separate all this. But you get rid of them, you know. I don't know if you can see what I'm doing now. If I move too much or what? Bucket. Last one, I think. Yep. one of these is a pressure line and the other one is a return line, I believe. And so the one that had the fuel filter, obviously, pressure line. I got a zip tie on here. Okay, that's two apart, so now I can figure out length and that kind of thing. Right here is where this line hooks up. This is the pressure line, and then you can see I took that bender and I've straightened it up. My plan is to try to go right between the body and that frame body mount and then run along and then up through the bed. So this is what I used. I bought this little cheap bender from Harbor Freight, and I just used this backwards to straighten that line out. So now I got it straightened out enough to where now I'll get under there and decide exactly, you know, where it's going to go along the frame and then where I'm going to poke it up. I don't know that one right now is long enough. So just another thing is I've marked this spot that I'm going to drill it, but I want to get down underneath here, underneath the truck, and I want to make sure that I'm good. I'm not going to drill into anything. So what I'm referencing right now is I'm referencing this bolt piece of all thread that I put in, and then basically it's the valley of this first rib is where it's going to be. It's about 3 inches in front of that all thread. So I get under here and look at this. And so basically I'm going to be about 3 inches back on this valley of the first rib, so I'll be right there, and there's nothing there to be perfect. It'll come out, I'll have it come out here and then come through here, and really this is right in this area is where I want that filter to live, so it's gonna work out. So I've got this piece down in here and it's running, and I got the hole drilled and I got it running through the floor, the bed of the truck. And on the other side, the bottom side, I need to bend this thing. Okay, so under here, I gotta bend it here, and then I gotta bring it over through here, and then end it right here. So there's really no way for me to really know exactly how I want to bend that, right? So what I'm going to do is I got a piece of tie wire, and I'm going to bend up this tie wire the way I want it, and then I'll pull that thing out of there and then bend it to match the tie wire, and then hopefully I'll still be able to fish it down through that hole. So that's the plan. We'll see how that works out. Well, it was going really well, and I got this piece in here, and there was one spot that I wanted to straighten out a little bit, but I didn't want to take it back out, and so I kinked it ever so slightly right there, but it's enough of a kink to be a real bummer. So I don't know what to do about that. I don't know if that's gonna hinder the, I don't know what it's gonna do. I don't know if it's gonna do anything to the fuel pressure. I don't know. But it's a bummer, but it is what it is at this point. So if something weird then I guess I'll have to address that and figure out what I got to do about it. But other than that, things have gone well. I still got a little bit more of the front on the bottom underneath the frame to get it positioned where I'm going to put that filter. So I'm going to do that next. But I'm bummed out about that because things were going really well. I mean, considering I'm recycling fuel line out of a car, put in a truck. I had kind of a catastrophic failure here. I was bending this bottom piece and I kinked it really bad. So I'm gonna need to go find it, see if there's like a connection, like a couple connection. If I cut this and cut this one and couple it together. Got the fuel filter mounted. I need another bolt for it. But I was trying to, this piece is too long and trying to get it, you know, looped back. And I think that was going to be the perfect spot where it just looped again and came back. But as I was bending it, it just went clamp, it just kinked. So, and that's like, if I try to bend that back right now, it's just going to break off. So, anyway, yes, that is the way it goes sometimes. So I'm going to go, right now, I'm going to go down to the auto parts store and talk to somebody about a coupler for that. I'm sure they make something. I'm sure there's couplers out there. Made it back from the auto parts store. Went down to O'Reilly's, talked to my friend Tim. Hooked me up with some high pressure line and some clamps. So I'm just going to cut that and then cut a piece of this line and clamp that on there. I also got a bigger piece for that other line, the return line, whatever it is. I'll get up this, I'll get underneath there. I got my line cutter here. So I'm gonna get under there and get that line cut, get this one figured out where it's gonna be, cut it, cut a piece of this, all that jazz. Alright, I'm just cutting this piece off. I already cut the other one, cut the kink out of it. I was informed that you're not supposed to say that you cut or that you kinked it. You're supposed to not say that I kinked it, so I don't know who kicked it. Anyway, that's what Tim said. I am the one fixing it. So, oops. Or at least I think I'm fixing it. Maybe I'm making it worse. I don't know. I just have another place that I get to try to make sure that it's not leaking. Well, I'm gonna have a couple of places to make sure it's not leaking. So I blew through that fuel filter, and it's doing fine. So I was actually thinking, you know what, I probably should replace that, but I think I'm gonna wait. I might replace it, you know, shortly after I get it running. But for now, it's gonna be fine. So I'm just gonna hook up to it. Man, I feel like I'm not doing anything with this. It's thick line, that's for sure. There it goes. Okay. Okay, so hook this back on like so. There we go. And now I just gotta make a line for right here. So I'm gonna cut about that much of it. This is on here now. I'm gonna put these clamps on. and this will be done. Then I gotta run that big line and hope that I can straighten it, you know, and not kink it. Because I need to get it straight, you know, the same as this, down to this point, and then we'll see how that turns out. It's gonna be a while before we see, because I'm not gonna have this truck running for a bit. But well, so in an effort to try to finish this today, I wound up going back to O'Reilly's to get some 7/16 line for that other. It's not going to work out me trying to straighten that one up. The smaller one was straightening up real nice. I didn't have any trouble straightening it up, but I'm not going to be able to get the other one straightened up, so I just abandoned that and decided to go get fuel line for it. So I went back to O'Reilly's, talked to Lewis this time. He hooked me up with 7 feet of that, so I'm gonna get that put on, and then that covers me for my fuel line. That'll finish me up so that I have the pressure line going to the motor, and then this line coming back. And that'll be taken care of, and then I just need to tackle the filler neck, and I will be wrapped up on the fuel, so that'll be good. I need to get the tank bolted back down again, strapped back down again, and I need to get the line hooked up at the tank and the filler spout cut shorter. But I'll show you what I got so far. This is that line coming back. This is the pressure line going out. This goes to that evap can, and down below, I'm gonna get down here. It's pretty dark down here, but hopefully it's all coming out of the bottom of the bed. And then I got the filter here, and then the lines running back up to the front. So that looks pretty good. I'm pretty satisfied with it. And then up here, when we get to the motor, this one hooks up here. I'm not hooking it up yet, and that hooks up there, and then this will have to get a mounting point on along with this piece. So at any rate, I think it looks pretty good. And it's kind of a big milestone for this project. So I'll get that filler neck cut down, and I don't know that I told everybody, but my dad is looking into custom making a box for around the fuel tank on this truck rather than cutting down a toolbox. So we'll see how that goes. I sent him a bunch of measurements and pictures and things, so that'll be cool. Looking forward to it. For now, it's just an exposed gas tank, and when I get it running, that'll be fine too. But it'd be cool to have something to hide it. Well, it's been a couple of days for me, but I'm back here at the truck. I'm gonna get this tailgate open, maybe. I'm going to get that tank remounted up. The straps aren't even on it, and I cut down the filler neck for it and welded it up. So I'm going to stick that in there and hook up the, turn the light on in here, hook up the fuel line in the back of that, behind the tank. So it'll be a lot easier to do right now. I just pull that tank and then, because it's not bolted down, so I just lean it back, hook that line up, and then put the straps back on, bolt it up, put the filler neck in. Show you this filler neck. This is what I wound up with. I don't know if I got the other piece, and I took off a bit. I don't know what I did. I was going to show you how much I cut out of that. I cut quite a bit out of it. Maybe I put it out here at the scrap pile already. I did. So that's it. That's how much I cut out of it. So, and then this other piece, this smaller piece, is this vent. So I'll just use, like a fuel line for the vent, just to get that hooked up. So this piece right here is just a vent. So I will take a piece of hose. I'll show you. So I'll get you turned around right here. And so this is that vent that went for that vent for the neck. So, and you can see it's all crusty and ugly. So I'm just going to disconnect it here, and I'm going to use a piece of fuel line and hook up that vent. So I'll have a new piece. I'll just use hose clamps. Any rate, so that's what I got doing right now, and that's going to pretty much wrap up this video. So I'm going to get after it. Okay, that's going to be super risky with that sitting there, but that's going to work. Okay, so that thing just clips right on. There we go. I'll show you real quick what I got going there. This line just had to be hooked up, and then that clamp, so the electrical I'll keep up top like that, and then when I get the electrical, that'll be easy. Just plug that in and so that'll be that. We get these straps back on. Pretty easy. Kind of tight with it. That's exactly what I meant by risky. Alright. So the only thing left now to do is to get this filler neck shoved in So it's pretty simple. This thing just pushes right in there, like that, and that's that. So I was trying to get that so that it would be low enough so it would be underneath this. So pretty close. That's not. It'll work. That wraps this up. So I got that fuel lines ran, hooked up, filler neck shortened up. That tank is in, so that's done. So that's awesome. I feel like this project is moving along. I still have a lot to go, a lot more to do, but that's a big milestone, having the fuel pretty much ready. I didn't connect at the motor because I am gonna pull that motor back out because I got more work to do on the firewall. But everything back to the tank is hooked up. I do have some hangers to put on the fuel line along the frame rails. I will have more like wiring to deal with there and brake line to deal with there, as in regards to mounting that stuff to the frame. So I will get that done. Anyway, so that's gonna wrap up this video. So I appreciate you guys watching, and until next week, have a blessed week.